Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Valor and Victory. This is an upcoming game being done by publishing house Slytherin, whom I'm quite fond of. They do a lot of AA/indie military games. They also have Matrix games as sort of a more hardcore arm of their stuff, which is a little bit outside of my grey matter. But you know, they do all sorts of cool things on the channel. Like we've covered Gladius previously or recently, which is also done under the Slytherin banner, and they've also got like Starship Troopers coming out later this year, so that's very exciting as well. A lot of cool stuff, to be perfectly honest. So, Valor and Victory. Their blurb goes as such: Valor and Victory is a fast-playing, easy-to-learn World War II squad-level game system. Based on the original Valor and Victory board game, the digital edition provides you with an accessible and deep challenge, developed for classic tabletop game lovers. So, I mean, that actually probably gives you a bit of a fair idea. I can be a bit lukewarm on tabletop video game conversions. I find them a little bit redundant, to be perfectly honest, and usually limited by the fact that they're trying to emulate a board game as opposed to being an original video game. But having said that, you know, biases at the front. We'll see how we go. Like I said, I generally do quite like what Slytherin puts out. So, tabletop, easy to pick up, fast-paced World War II thing. These are good words. I like this. This is exciting. All right. Battle of Normandy, American sector. Can I user-created scenarios? Welcome to the tutorial. British sector. Oh, maybe we should do the tutorial. Let's do this and get a bit of a bloody feel for it. Oh, okay. So, to elimination. Okay, a simple scenario to teach you some of the basic mechanics of the game. What is this? Axis or order of battle. Allied order of battle. Oh, okay, cool. Look at that. Yeah. All right, players axis. Well, look, let's just play the default. Let's do that. This should be pretty straightforward, surely. Axis turn. Okay. Command phase. Games are played in a series of turns. Each turn is divided into 2 player segments. Each player segment is further divided into a number of phases. Oh my goodness. Okay. Command fire, move, an opportunity fire, defensive fire, and advance. A turn ends after the end of a turn segment. A new turn begins unless the previous turn was the last turn of the game. Well, that makes sense. In this first phase, command phase, you can undertake the below actions. Okay, so we might have some translational issues going on here. You can split your squads into 2 half squads of the same type. Okay, and less than 4 units. Okay, you may combine 2 half squads, right? Infantry units exchange or transfer support weapons. Okay. Button highlights hexes in the line of sight of the selected hex. Okay. All right. Okay. Left click over this stack of units to select and perform actions. Try and split the infantry squad into 2 half squads. Right click over this stack of units to see what's in their stack. Okay. Right. Okay, so I've clicked on them. Left click over this stack of units to perform actions. I'll try and split the infantry squad into 2 half squads. Well, how do I do that? Oh, here we go. Split into 2 half squads. I think that worked. Yeah, that looks like that worked. Hover over each button below to get tooltips on what they do. Okay, yeah. Anytime in the game, you can press H to bring up the phase instructions. Once you have selected a stack, you can select individual units and perform actions on here. A red border around the unit means it has been selected. Okay, cool. There we go. Cool. Okay, click on the next phase. Can I do this? Oh, okay. Okay, let's go. Next phase. Right, fire phase. You may fire any of your eligible units. Select your units to fire with, click on the enemy target, and you may... What is going on here? Cutting off sentences? Oh, okay, I can drag it in your line of sight. You may opt to fire smoke in lieu of an attack. Cool. A gun or AFV with a gun. This may fire smoke in lieu of normal actions. Smoke's a line of sight hindrance. Yes, okay. That's fine. Sure, I understand. Click this stack, right? When you have selected a stack to fire and hover over the units in range for line of sight defense bonuses. Okay. Fired at unit. Okay, so he's got a +3 defense bonus is what it looks like. Maybe there's a house under that tile I can't see. Zap him. Zap him. Combat result. All the dice are getting bloody rolled and... Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Look at this. 1 to 4 and 10 and... Oh, my goodness. I don't know what any of that means. Dice modifiers. Let's try that again. 1, 3, 1. 6 and 2. 8. 5 to 10. Right? APFP. What is that? Like, I hope the game is going to explain this to me. Move phase. Players may move any unit that did not fire previously. Exit will leave the game. Okay, so they can sort of extract out. We can load dudes into trucks. Assault movement. Infantry units use assault movement. Halve their movement points. The reduction movement points is applied before the move. Right. When infantry use their assault move, it gains +1 cover move. Yeah, okay, so they're doing fire and movement drills, trying to keep a low profile. Smoke rotates vehicles, reverse a vehicle. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Right. Sure. And move it towards the British troops. The British unit will opportunity fire on you. Oh. Oh, look at that. 2. Oh, he got him. Oh, so you want to roll low. Oh, interesting. But it's 2 dice, so 7's going to be the sort of mean. Okay. So the top thing is 2. APFP is 11 to 18. Which, what's this? 12. I mean, that's 10, so that doesn't really make... Attackers anti-personnel firepower. Dice modifiers. They modified the die. Okay. It's starting to come together. Slow and steady. My brain's putting it together. Here we go. You may fire with any of your units that have not previously used opportunity fire. Okay. In the enemy's defensive phase, they can fire with any units that did not use opportunity fire. Okay. As the British have already fired... Yeah, right, okay, let's go. Next phase. Advance and assault. Player may advance his unit 1 hex, regardless of terrain cost. Unless the unit is prohibited from entering the hex. Okay, so there's a minimum move, which makes sense. Infantry units not advancing may conduct close assault versus an adjacent enemy-occupied hex, right? Left-click this stack and left-click on the British stack, right? Oh, okay, so we've got a different table that we're rolling on. We've rolled a 4. Oh, did it preemptively show us the dice thing there? Hang on. Personal firepower, right? Defender's personal fire. So we get a ratio. Number of kills. Attacker losses 7, right? It says 5, though. Attack dice roll modified. Dice total. Okay. I'll take your word for it, game. You're not explaining yourself very well. Enemies dominated the field and inflicted a major defeat. Okay, right. Okay. Like I said, I love this company. I love these games. Call spade a spade. It's a fairly piss weak tutorial. But let's just learn. Let's just play. Scenario details. Rudder ranges clear the point. Cool. Okay, so we've got a bit of flavor here if you're into it. Which I am. But I figure we'll just get sort of straight into it. Okay, so there's a lot of pitched scenarios. Allied turn. What, are you tutorializing me all over again? Is that what's going on here right now? All right. What have we got? Oh, I have to keep pressing the button. Okay, right. So there's some Yermans over there. And I've got some bloody Rangers. Boys, get involved. Turn 1, Allied command phase. Alright, so we can't move just yet, but if I wanted to like split groups or anything like that, I guess that's how I'd do it, or swap guns or some such. So let's piss that off. The fire phase, right? Okay. Guess I can't fire at them. Right, so you can only see one into the forest. Okay, I get that. Move phase, let's go. Boys. Oh, they're having a bloody go. Oh, I shouldn't have closed that. Oh no, lost some men. Okay. Assault move, let's go, boys. Actually, no, stuff it. Can I turn that off? I might need assault move going into here. Oh no, they're not going to shoot. Okay, hang on. Let's just stay adjacent to them. Alright. Next. AI defense phase, but they already fired, so no go. Oh, apparently not. Lies. Oh no, maybe they're shooting. That's shooting. Boys. Oh, boys, you shouldn't have poked your head out. And they're having a bloody go as well. This is not good. That's a pretty high roll, though. That's good news. Yeah, look at that. No dice, mate. Get stuffed. All right, advanced and assault phase. Let's go. Yeah, get amongst it. Get amongst it, boys. Uh-oh. Oh, no, I destroyed them. Okay, that's good. I knew it was always going to go that way. Okay. Axe's turn. All right, so we've set up. We've got a few fields of fire there. They do have that bloody black 36, so that could be a problem. Oh, maybe I got to click to make it happen. There we go. Okay, 7, not great. Pinned. Right. Casualty points inflicted 1. Oh no, that's not good. We have casualties. No good. Here they come, causing all sorts of trouble. I'll finish moving. All right. Defensive fire. Give him what, 4 lads? Nah, not the best roll. Missed. Oh, terrible roll. Look at that. Okay. Okay. Advance and assault phase. Let's go, boys. Oh, it's Axis advance and assault. My bad. Here we go. Rally. Oh, yeah, that's always a good sign. I mean, what's the rationale for splitting a squad? Whatever. Let's go. Allied fire phase. Let them have it, boys. Okay, yeah, we zapped one of them. That's good. Big low roll. Oh, that's good. That's juicy. Yeah, look at that. Pinned. Mate. Germans hate him. Oh, someone's having a go. It's the big old cannon. Oof. Oof. Bit of reaction fire, or not the best roll. Nah, get out of here. Bloody grub. No good. No love. Advanced assault. I don't think we can do it because we don't have anyone adjacent. Oh no. Yeah, that's pretty good. Hmm. Allied defensive fire phase. Mate, we're whittling them down. Oh, it's a good roll. Cooked. Now what? I guess we go next turn, right? Hmm. And then the fire phase. Oh, terrible. Hmm. I think that's all the firing we can do. Oh, someone shooting at me? Oh, it's the cannon. Oh my goodness. Nah, no good. Get out of here, grubs. Oh. Oh, that counts as his Overwatch zone or something. Interesting. Geez, we're getting hammered. No good. All right. Let us have it, Axis. Okay, right. Well, so some thoughts. I think I don't want to be dismissive or assume that I know it all, but we get an idea of what's going on and how this game works, right? Honestly, off the cuff, off my hip, major concern that jumps out is the RNG factor, right? We are just rolling 2 dice against a stat line that I have nothing to do with because it's a fixed sort of scenario. You're rolling 2 dice like this. In its simplicity and fast-paced nature, it's reminding me more of Risk, which I actually dislike Risk as a board game. You know, don't hate me. It's just, I don't know, like, I don't want to be a prude about it. There's something to be said about just mind-numbingly and mindlessly throwing a fistful of dice while you chew on some pizza and pound a couple of drinks while you talk about, you know, chicks with the boys, right? Like, whatever, right? There's nothing wrong with that, and that does feel a certain void in our hearts, right? And this is giving me that sort of vibe. So essentially, I'm just moving my dudes and rolling 2 dice. I'm very much at the mercy of random. And in this starting scenario, you know, you'd think that they put their best foot forward. They're at a heavily entrenched position, and we have a really open field to run across with presumably infinite characters. Oh, sorry, finite characters is what I meant. Oh, I pressed the next turn. No, what I wanted to do was see if I could bail out of this turn. What does this do? Hide terrain menu. Quit game. Turn effects on and off. Oh. Wait, okay, so I'm very confused as to what I can and can't do. All right, let's say we go quit game. It's not going to desktop me. Let's have a look. We've got American Soldier, Operation Overlord. That's what we were just looking at. Okay, so we've got Saint Marie du Mont as a second follow-up mission. Let's just have a squiz at that, see what this is all about. See where if this goes. Ooh. Right. So we've got a command phase. And then firing phase. I have to, you can't hold W or anything like that to mouse it up. I suppose you can put the mouse at the edge of the screen, but you have to really spam the thing. Okay. Right, so look, this mission's much bigger, but there's a lot more room to just sort of meander through it at your own pace. It's interesting. As covered, it is very punchy. It's very quick, you know, quick to learn, I suppose. But how deep is it truly? I have concerns that it's not really deep enough. I mean, we do have some pretty cool cover systems, especially if you're fighting from an entrenched position here. How do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? Let's have a quick look. No? No. Issue and exit the scenario. Yes, sorry. Yeah, so what I wanted to do is just have a quick squiz at we've got user created scenarios. See the scenario editor. Right, so you can, I don't know, create a new scenario. Okay, we're getting an idea with these sort of patches, right? Ah, okay, cool. Okay, this is okay, and we've got all sorts of different dudes here. Now, look, okay, all right, let's have a quick little debrief. This game is not going to be for me, not necessarily because it's bad though. Like let's just make that clear at the top. There's nothing wrong with playing a game, like maybe you don't like Animal Crossing, you prefer engineering games or whatever, but there's nothing wrong with recognizing that while you won't personally love the game, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be an audience for it. So this is interesting. It falls into this genre, this very niche and specific skirmish, almost a skirmish sandbox, like a multiplayer skirmish sandbox. I've seen something similar with Field of Glory 2 Medieval, right? Like I find, like, I'm not necessarily comparing the core loop to that. I quite enjoy that one in that game, but at the end of the day, it is just a handful of scenarios in fixed settings and scenario editors and two, probably crusty old hardcore war gamers that just want to hang out. I feel like that's your audience for some of these sort of games. I don't know what to call that genre, where it is sandboxy, at least in the definition that I use, which is to say a lot of tools, bordering on a tool, sort of like a toolkit, and outsourcing a lot of the fun and scenario making to the player, right? Generally speaking, I don't like that as a broad concept, but we're doing our best to explain what's going on here. So I'm not necessarily going to get into that, right? So the scenarios are fairly straightforward so far that we've seen, and you can have a look here that in all honest truth, I mean, let's see what happens when we pull this out. Okay, excuse me, I had to have a quick sneeze. There's a whole bunch of dudes that you can pick from, and look, we've got some guns, some light sort of tanks, British, German, US, scenario details. Okay, so you can change some stuff. Victory conditions, defenses. Right, yeah. Okay, cool. So look, I guess, the argument here is what sort of value are you going to get out of this? I feel like I can only speak personally, but I'll be as objective about like laying it out compared to its peers. For example, something like a Field of Glory, right? The gameplay loop is very, very simple, right? There is some modifiers in that go into it, but it's probably one of the more simple ones out there, right? There's nothing wrong with being simplified, to have you can have a complex game, but a simple front end. But I actually find this to not be that complex. I could be missing something, and you never know. This might attract some serious neckbeard hardcore boys about this particular board game. I've never played it before, so I can only speak with what I've got, right? But the whole idea that we have a cross-reference grid that we only roll 2 dice and that's it is a little bit... I find it to be too simple, and arguably 2 dice makes it too random. I can only really go back to my touchstones. I've played a lot of Warhammer in the day, and a fair few editions back, I was in the tournament scene as well, right? So the thing with Warhammer, and it's been a bit of a through line for a lot of it, is quite often you'll roll a die to hit, and there'll be a rudimentary system. Usually it's 7 minus your ballistic skill or whatever. But you crunch the math. Then you'll have a to wound, so it's sort of like strength of a weapon versus toughness of the target. And then you'll have like an armor save. So there's these layered components, but the sort of interesting beauty that comes out of that is this informs the dude that you pick for the matchup when you build your army list. A huge part of the Warhammer experience is building your army list around a common set of rules, right? So you will have some dudes that might be naked and have no armor and only swords or something, but they've got way more toughness so they can take the hits better. Well, inversely, you might have dudes with absolute god tier armor or armor piercing gear and all that. But a lot of the nuance and minutia of that system is manifest in your army list, right? I'm not trying to turn this into a Warhammer thing, but I'm just giving you an example. I do know that Flames of War has a system maybe closer to this. It is a lot more stripped down and simple, but you're still making a list, right? This game, I mean, I suppose you could have a handshake agreement with your mate that, hey, we're going to have so many of these, but from what I can understand, I don't believe they have a point amount. Like these statistics, though, and the game didn't make the statistics clear at all. Again, do your best to get outside of your own head if you are a veteran of this series and look at it from the perspective of me or fresh blood that are coming into it. This game, I feel, didn't explain itself well enough. But funnily enough, beyond these stats that look immediately kind of overwhelming, I don't actually think this game's that complex. It only has that one dice roll situation, right? Granted, it's got a lot of complex turn interaction where you fire defensively and that sort of stuff. And okay, maybe you can find some tactical complexity within there. But like I said, if you wanted to drill it down with Warhammer has like 3 different dice rolls just to confirm a hit. All of these can be kind of muddled with on a strategic level when you build your list. This doesn't necessarily have list building, doesn't have a point system that I can tell of to balance the scenario, and it only has 1 dice roll. Now, some people might find that to be magical. Like I said, if you find yourself to be a Risk enthusiast, and look, I'm disparaging about Risk. I personally really dislike it. I don't think throwing a handful of dice is fun and just crossing your fingers to see who wins. But at the same time, if you enjoy it, that's fine. So this at first blush seems to fly a lot closer to Risk, right? And this is going to be either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your position on Risk. But like I said, this is all at the mercy of build your own scenarios. It's not exactly the sexiest scenario building tool. Doesn't necessarily look like I can change the map or anything. So we pick the base map, we pick the base units and go for it. Like, look, if you are a fan of this or you're interested in this or you've come from the board game, I'd be curious if there's something maybe I'm missing, or maybe it is just supposed to be fairly, I don't want to say shallow, because people are going to be quick to want to fight over the internet because that's what everyone wants to do. But like I said, the tile set, there's nothing to do with the tile set scenario creation. It's literally about placing down these as best you can match up. Maybe some more old school wargamers would be into this, but I can't help but look at this and go, it's a simple system rather than simplified, right? Like, so I would say it's a basic system with a basic unit structure and a very basic customization sandpit organization of making your scenarios. And all 3 of those examples can be done better in many other games and in a more complex, but still, you know, like not obtuse complex, but as in like fulfilling complex. So yeah, a lot of thoughts around this. I don't necessarily want to say it's a bad product. I just want to, I think it's aimed at someone that, you know, let's create the scenario I love to use. You know, you've come home from work, you hate your 40-hour job, the wife's nagging you, you've got 2.5 kids and a mortgage, you just want to have a beer and just take it easy and turn your brain off. This might fit into that category more so than even something like Gladius. I love Warhammer Gladius, another game made by the Slytherin publishing house, right? But I'll be the first to admit that it is not super bloody intensive on the grey matter, right? If you want something that's really going to make your brain sweat, that is not the game, but I love it for it. I feel like this might be another step further. I don't want to say down. I'm not trying to add a direction, but further along the scale of simplicity and turning your brain off. And you know what? That might just be the magic some people are looking for. So who knows, you know? But yeah, also just to come full circle on my idea on Sandbox, a lot of the time, people love Sandbox. I don't love Sandbox. I don't love the idea of the developer going, here's a bunch of tools and outsourcing, go make your own fun, right? They're just your mum saying, here's some sticks, run around the backyard and pretend to shoot each other. That doesn't make your mum a game director. And that's sort of how I feel about games that just go, here's some tools, go on, this is a game. So like the mileage that you get out of this and using the tool set that it gives you in the scenario editor is going to vary depending on your creativeness and your willingness to invest into it. But like I said, I'm someone that's very much, give me my packaged meal, I'll consume it and judge it on its merit. I have no interest in making scenarios personally. Anyway, so some thoughts there at the end. Like I said, absolutely, definitely not my kind of game, but that doesn't make it a bad game at all. I'd be really curious if someone finds this video and they're watching it and maybe they come out the other end, you know, and can respectfully disagree with me. And who knows, maybe this is just the game for you and you pick it up. So I think I've done my best to showcase what's there. I think it's a bit thin, but again, that's as someone that doesn't do create your own scenario, create your own fun. That's not how I operate. Anyway, let me know what you reckon, guys. I might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.